Hi, everybody. This is Tammy. I'm one of the nurses with Essential Infusions Plus, and I'm here today with Angie McHugh, our nurse practitioner. And we are today going to talk about an IV infusion that we have. We call it the chill pill. It's actually a CBD IV infusion. And so, Angie, why don't you start by just telling us what is CBD?
We are so excited to bring this on board. I was thrilled to hear this was even an option because I never heard of it as IV before. So many of us know what CBD is, but I want to talk a little bit about the difference between CBD and THC. So CBD is derived from the plant marijuana, but marijuana contains, or cannabis contains multiple things, not just CBD. So it contains CBD, many strains of CBD, as well as THC. Now, both CBD and THC have similarities. There are some distinct differences, but they work on the receptors in our body. And we'll talk a little bit about that here. Let me pull up a little bit of some slides. Hopefully I can do this well. So we can take a look at it and see what it actually does. So hold on one second. There we go. All right, are you able to see that?
Yes.
Oh, good. I did it right. All right. So when we're talking about CBD, we need to understand the endocannabinoid system in our body. So our body is made up of multiple different systems, and we can talk a little bit about those as we go forward. But the endocannabinoid system is not a well-known system, but is evident everywhere in our body in all different areas. So if you weren't aware, our body naturally produces cannabinoids. And so we'll get to what CBD is after we get through what cannabinoids are. But we have tens of millions of cannabinoids in our system because we have over 1 billion cannabinoid receptors in our body. And this system is really overlooked. It is so important, so many different things. And one of the reasons it's overlooked is because it's newly found. So the endocannabinoid system was more recently found in the 80s and 90s. And for some of you like me, I was in high school and I remember those days well. So this was not something I was ever taught, not even in my college days, because it's been so newly discovered. So let's take a look at some of the different systems in our body. So we talk about systems, we talk about circulatory, that's our blood vessels, muscular, our muscles, immune system, that's everything that helps to fight off infection and is very important when it comes to autoimmune diseases, when our immune system gets out of whack. Pulmonary system, reproductive system, digestive system, our central nervous system, that controls our pain and sensation and our movement, the brain, everything our brain does, and our skeletal system are just a few of those. But when we look at the endocannabinoid system, we talk a lot about CB1 versus CB2. These are the main cannabinoids in our body, and you can see all the different things it affects. So the green is a CB1, the blue is a CB2, but it's involved in our brain, our lungs, our blood vessels, liver, colon, our immune system. It's really important in our immune system. Pancreas, spleen, reproductive organs. It's super important when it comes to our reproduction, which I was completely unaware of how important it is in helping us become pregnant. Muscles, bones, and just anytime you have trauma, the endocannabinoid system connects all of them. It's a network of receptors. So it's like our radio signals that go throughout our body and go wherever it needs to go. So when these radio signals line up with the correct receptor, so if you think about it like a radio signal on the correct channel, it then initiates a specific action in that cell or organ, and it tells it to do something. So again, this was discovered in the early 1990s when they were looking really at THC, which is the psychoactive property of cannabis, not the CBD, which is the non-psychoactive part of cannabis. And what we're talking about IV is the non-psychoactive part. But they were studying THC and they discovered this system and all these receptors in our brain and why people have such an effect with THC or CBD or both combination when they're smoking the full stuff. So there's lots of very new research on this and why it's so important. And when we think about what functions and what's really regulated by this endocannabinoid system, we're talking about, as you may well understand mood and stress. People think a lot about it. That's very much affected by this, but also pain perception, inflammation. It's a big player in inflammation, sleep and wake cycles, appetite, digestion, immune function, memory, reproduction. Again, it's super important. There's sperm has receptors for CBD, and it's really important in telling the fertilized egg to implant and helping that process along. Motor control, temperature regulation, cardiovascular function. So if we look at this, you can see, again, we're talking about the CB1 and CB2 and the different areas that it works on. But we also have to talk about endocannabinoids and these anandamide and the 2-AG as well that are really well known in the body. So the CB1, CB2 are receptors, and these are the actual endocannabinoids. So you can see, again, here's another breakdown of where CB1 receptors are versus CB2. And you can see where they're important. And a lot of them are both in both areas. So you can see like CB1 and CB2 is important for immune regulation, reproductive function. So there's a lot of different things in there that cross both of them. But it's just a slight overview of the fact that we have two really major players when it comes to receptors in our body. And there's a couple of enzymes in our body that we have that a plethora of when we're young. And this is what we talk about too. When we're talking about hormones. There's such a plethora of our hormones when we're younger, but this declines as we get older. And the same happens in our body with these enzymes that are responsible for creating these cannabinoids. And so we actually, as we get older, we produce fewer and fewer cannabinoids. And I always think about, like in movies, men, a lot of older men are portrayed as cranky old men. Well, or women postmenopausal are portrayed as cranky old women are highly anxious and they just can't handle the stress. And a lot of it has to do with hormones, and a lot of it has to do with our decrease in these endocannabinoids and these that play such a role in our mood, in our inflammation, and just make us feel crummy all over. So we end up as we get older with this imbalance, and it really leads to various health issues. And that's why as we get older, we're more likely to have coronary artery disease, which is a disease of inflammation, or diabetes, or we're more likely to have autoimmune issues as we get older because our immune system's more likely to go out of whack as we get older because these enzymes play a big role in it, as well as our hormones do, in regulating that. So just knowing that as we get older, things change, don't work as well as they should. We have decreased production of things. The endocannabinoids is no different. So here's some of the potential impacts of this. It can impair our mood regulation. I think I talked about this. We don't sleep as well. Increased pain sensitivity. It's not just that our pain we have more pain, it's just we're more sensitive to it. So I liken it to, when I used to go roller skating with my kids. Last time I went roller skating, I fell and broke my wrist. So I haven't gone in a while, but it hurts a lot more when you fall as an adult than when you fall as a kid because we have more increased pain sensitivity. And part of it has to do with this. Compromised immune function, digestive issues, increased stress response. Again, we're more anxious. We're just not able to tolerate things as well. Impaired cognitive function. We see that a lot with the older people. Increased inflammation. So when we talk about replacing endocannabinoids, we're talking about phytocannabinoids, and you can find those in plants, and they can help by mimicking and protecting these cannabinoids and directly and indirectly influencing it. And so really our goal is always at Essential Infusions is to really optimize how you're living. We want you to thrive, not survive. We really want to help you age well and really anti-age, if at all possible, by balancing things that need to be balanced, taking things out that need to be taken out of your life, and really restoring what needs to be restored. And this is no different. So looking again at what balancing this would be, it really helps us to have a better immune system when we have these receptors working well and we have the right amount of enzymes, the endocannabinoids in our system. We are able to trigger the responses we're supposed to trigger. So we're able to respond appropriately to stress and to pain. And so there's lots of different ways to do that. But one of the ways that we do that is with our IV system. So talking a little bit about this, sorry, let me switch back to where I can see you. many people who are familiar with CBD dispensaries, that type of thing, know there's lots of different ways you can get your CBD in your body. So, I'm not an expert in all the different marijuana or the different edibles or the different chews or the different vaping and smoking and, liquid, sublingual, all that. But CBD IV is very unique, first of all, in the fact that it does not have the THC. So it does not have that psychedelic aspect of it. THC is what people are looking for in drug tests. And out of the hundreds of thousands of people who've gotten this IV, no one has tested positive for THC because it's not in here. Why some people will test positive for it with the CBD orals, because the enzymes in our stomach can actually convert it to THC, a little bit of it. But because we're completely bypassing the stomach, there's no risk of that with the CBD IV. Also, I recently heard a whole podcast on why CBD IV is so important. They're using it as an adjunct for cancer therapy because it goes everywhere and it permeates all the cells, and it has anti-tumor properties. It helps you to regulate your immune functions, and it can help really as an adjunct, very powerful adjunct to cancer therapies, help with energy and mood and sleep and that type of thing. So getting it into your body, the most bioavailable immediate response, that's what IV does. And that's why this is such an important way to do it. It just gets delivered in an accurate dose right to the cellular response, and it can go everywhere immediately. That was a very long talk, sorry.
That's okay. I mean, there's so many great benefits here. So what are some effects that somebody might feel during the infusion or after?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we've been told, what people have said mostly, and the reason we're calling it the chill pill is this underlying sense of calm. I guess is the best way to describe it. You're not tired. You're just at peace, at calm, and really, I think describing it as this is how we're supposed to feel. Like you can handle stress better and you're just relaxed. It also can help with sleep. It can help with pain because it's an anti-inflammatory and it works on those pain receptors as well. But really, we want to use it too for anybody with an autoimmune issue. So depending on what your autoimmune issue is, you should see effects based on that as well. So decreased inflammation, say you have Crohn's or IBS in your gut, so now you're able to eat better, right? If you have eczema, your eczema should calm down. Whatever your autoimmune issues, it can help with certain things, parts of that as well, because it definitely can help regulate that immune system.
Again, there's just so many great benefits here. I actually tried this IV last week, and yeah, after my infusion, I just felt very, very peaceful and calm the rest of the evening. I slept great. Even the next day, I just felt pretty calm. Here in Winfield, the fire alarms went off the next day. We were trying to deal with all of that. It was kind of stressful, and I was just very calm, dealt with it. We got it taken care of. So it's just a great I feel like for me, it was just great for, yeah, just some of those anti-anxiety properties and just sleeping really, really well
Yeah.
afterwards. So I
Yeah.
really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Um, so if someone's looking for this IV, how do they get it?
So this is one of the IVs that you can't really just pop in and grab one of these IVs. We really need to talk about your goal with it. So that's something I need to discuss with you. So if you're interested in this, give us a call and we'll set up an appointment with me. Now, we don't need lab work prior to this, but I definitely need to chat with you and see, okay, what's your goal with this? Do you have an autoimmune issue? Are we targeting something? Or are you just looking for overall health and wellness? This morning I got an email with, I think it's 24 different research, like it separated out how CBD can affect different things, such as diabetes by helping regulate the immune system and protecting your pancreatic cells, which are destroyed in diabetes. Chronic pain by making us less sensitive to pain and helping decrease inflammation, helping with thyroid issues and Hashimoto's and hormones. Even when you're acutely ill, because CBD is also a great antimicrobial. We didn't talk about this, but it's a wonderful antimicrobial, antifungal, antiparasitic. So it's great for anyone who's ill or someone say who they're going to go travel. And you want to protect yourself as you travel. As I just got off a plane yesterday and the girl next to me was hacking the whole time. She was just coughing, coughing, coughing. She was very gracious and she tried to protect as much, but it was like, like right here, right next to my face. But there's also a lot of great potential for like neuro issues. So stroke, Parkinson's, those people who have a lot of neuroinflammation, these patients are really good candidates for it too. So really trying to come up with a plan when it comes to this, because typically what we want to do is give you an IV weekly till we get the right dose for you, and then spread it out to where you're continuing to feel the effects. So for example, someone with Crohn's disease, they may need, like 2 or 3 weeks in a row to get them to that higher dose, because we start at a lower dose. And then we spread it out as long as we can, maybe once a month, because our goal is really for you to live optimally. If we can control that inflammation in your gut, well, now you're able to digest nutrients, and now your bones and your muscles are better, your vitamins are better. Now your brain's able to function better because now you don't have that inflammation. Plus, your whole quality of life is better when you're not suffering from these things. So there's all kinds of stuff that we can do to help with this. If you guys want the link to the whole talk on how IV CBD has really got great potential as an adjunct to cancer, I'll try and get that attached to this somehow, or please let us know and we'll get it to you so you can see what others are doing for this as well. This is just such an amazing gift, something that we're able to bring to our community and really help you. So just give us a call. Know that it will require even just a phone conversation with me ahead of time, just to know what the goals are and come up with a plan, because we want to treat you appropriately and really make sure we're achieving your goals. Now, if you're just one who wants to come in and try it out, that's fine too. This is only for patients who are 21 and older though, just FYI.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Angie, for going over all the awesome benefits of CBD IV infusion today. And again, we're going to call it the chill pill. So you can call and ask about the chill pill
Yes.
at any time, and we'll get you scheduled.
Just know it's a little bit, you'll plan to be there at least 30 to 60 minutes, depending on how you tolerate it, because we do want to run it a little slower, especially initially, and make sure you tolerate it well. But yes, it is definitely, the people who have gotten it have had they love it. They really do.
Yeah.
And it's a great adjunct. So we really want to help you guys and offer something different to our community. So any of our locations, give us a call, or know it's got to be scheduled ahead of time. So we got to make sure we have it for you, and that we can call you and talk to you about what dose and that type of thing. So
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
all right, guys, talk to you soon.
Bye.